This causes the largest wound to the narcissist. My, you are a despicable bunch, aren't you? Listening in on this video, wanting to know what causes the largest wound to the narcissist. I thought you called yourself empaths. And here you are, wanting to know what causes the largest wound to the narcissist. I might regard that as particularly vindictive, unpleasant, nasty even. Maybe you aren't empaths. Maybe you all are secret narcissists tuning in to listen to the wisdom of H.G. Tudor in order to get revenge. It's actually, however, very common for empathic victims to find themselves wanting to know things such as, how can I make the narcissist suffer forever? How can I get my own back on the narcissist? How can I get the narcissist to do what I want to do? How can I control the narcissist? And as you know from the various Tudor treatment videos, I explain that such steps are contrary to your best interests. But it's entirely understandable why people have an interest in those topics. The reason being, you have been badly hurt. You have been put through the mill by the narcissist. Your emotions have been torn to shreds. Your finances perhaps devastated. Relationships with other people affected. You might have lost your job. Your physical health suffered. Your mental health has suffered. You might have lost property, lost a home, lost children. A whole range of downsides as a consequence of your entanglement with this abuser. Being on the receiving end of that abuse erodes your emotional empathy, meaning that your narcissistic traits come to the fore, meaning that with regard to your protagonist, you will understandably want some form of revenge. Not everybody wants it, but many of you do. Whether it is sticking it to the narcissist by telling them the few home truths, or to seeing the life of the narcissist turn into putrefying shit. Whether it's seeing the narcissist's next relationship go up in flames, them losing their job, them getting kicked of their house, them becoming a social pariah. Or taking more direct action, you doing something to cause the narcissist to suffer. Those sentiments are understandable, but they're driven by emotional thinking and they aren't logical, because if you act upon them and embrace them, along comes the devil's pitchfork, and you will suffer. But many of you look to those titles because of that need for justice, and your emotional thinking is corrupting your empathic trait of justice, wanting you to get even with the narcissist. Unfortunately, there are too many providers of misinformation on YouTube who don't understand narcissism and make you think you can get it, and make you think that it actually has a deleterious impact upon us. You will always lose out for the reasons I've explained in my various videos. There's a much better option available to you. However, I understand why you want to know what causes the largest wound to the narcissist. Your truth-seeker trait is activated. A bit of justice as well. Maybe the narcissistic trait of pride. Possibly the narcissistic trait of anger has had its tummy tickled by seeing this title. So what is it that causes the largest wound to the narcissist? It is the escape of the intimate partner primary source. It isn't having our face plastered on a billboard all around town saying, cheat. It isn't you telling everybody at the country club that we're an absolute see you next Tuesday. The one solitary thing that causes the largest wound to the narcissist is the escape of the intimate partner primary source. The dynamic between narcissist and intimate partner primary source has three potential outcomes. The most common, disengagement. We drop you, for one of the 5 disengagement triggers, which you can learn about in a separate video of mine. Second most common reason, the relationship just continues until one party or the other drops dead. And that's the roller coaster ride. Sustained devaluation, respite period, sustained devaluation, maybe a temporary break, but not actually disengagement, and then return. Up and down, years, decades. The third most common outcome, you escape. When you do that, the wounding that you cause to the narcissist is horrendous. Why? On two fronts. First of all, you are the provider, most of all, of the prime aims. That's why you are the primary source. You are the one that is controlled the most. You are the one that provides most of the fuel of the narcissist. You are the one that provides most of the character traits. You are the one that provides most of the residual benefits. Most of the eggs are in your basket. If you want to understand the differing levels by which the intimate partner primary source plays within the relevant fuel matrix of the appropriate narcissist, you can do no better than to access the Knowledge Vault and obtain my material, Pipelines, and Understanding Changes to the Narcissist Fuel Matrix. That goes through in greater detail the various percentages and how they all interact with. Fascinating material and very useful to embrace. Go and get it. Most narcissists, as you know, are lesser or mid-range, and that means that somewhere between 70 to 90% of the prime aims are catered for by the primary source. So it's entirely obvious that when you escape, you wrench out so much from what the narcissist needs, and that wreaks havoc for the narcissist. It pains, agonizes, tortures the narcissist in that instant to have lost that level of fuel. It's gone. The pipeline has just been turned off. The fuel has dropped from 100 down to 10% or 100 down to 30%. Yes, it will bounce back for reasons which I explain in Understanding Changes to the Fuel Matrix. But recognize that initial escape causes the most horrendous wounding to the narcissist. It's not something that you say. Saying is invariably challenge fuel. It's not saying that you're going to hold a huge party of the narcissist and then nobody turns up. It is the act of you escaping the formal relationship between you and the narcissist. It is because not only do you rip out such a large percentage from the prime aims, but also the narcissist has pinned nearly all their hopes on you. And therefore, yours is an act of absolute treason, treachery, and the worst transgression that can be inflicted upon the narcissist. Then, add to it this, that the narcissist ought to have been able to keep you under control and couldn't. And that is even more devastating for the greater and the ultra, given their capabilities. Of course, escape from them is far, far, far rarer, but where it does, the narcissist there is not so much hit by the loss to the fuel matrix, because the intimate partner primary source may only present, say, 50% of the fuel matrix. Still very important, but not as crucial as, say, the intimate partner primary source in the fuel matrix of the lesser or mid-range narcissist. But what really gets to the greater and the ultra is the fact that you fucking escaped, that you've had the audacity to walk away from such a supreme operator, and that they failed to stop it. So whether it's the crushing blow to the fuel matrix added to the fact that the narcissist ought to have stopped you, or in other instances, the expectancy, the superiority of that narcissist to never allow that to happen in the first place, the act of you leaving, escaping, walking away from the narcissist when you are the intimate partner primary source, where you're the boyfriend, the girlfriend, the spouse, the partner, the cohab, that is the single thing that causes the largest amount of wounding to the narcissist. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.